welcome to Ken's Creations. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a super yummy, delicious caramel sauce. And this sauce you can use for many things, from topping off ice cream, cheesecakes, really anything, and any desserts, anything that you would like. And what I'll be using it for in a next video to come is going to be, well, it's come very soon, is going to be caramel truffles. So I'm just looking forward to that because they're one of my favorite treats. So some of the things that you're going to be needing to make this caramel sauce is 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 3/4 cup of heavy cream. So let's get started. What I also have here with me today is my metal pot on my trusty stove. So let's try and get it. So we'll be back when we have our granulated sugar into our pot and we have our heat starting to get on a medium. To start off medium low. Okay, see you then, guys. Okay, so in my pot I have here, I do not have my heat on yet, but I do have my cup of granulated sugar in my pot. And the next thing that we have to add is 1/4 a cup of water that we have. Just gonna pour that in there. And I also have a spatula, and it's a plastic spatula. It's just little. So I'm just gonna mix that around really quick. And then it's going to be time to get this heat on. And we're going to turn it on to a medium, maybe medium low, but I'm just going to say a medium. And we're gonna stir that, and then we'll come back when it looks bubbly and all the sugar has been dissolved. So we'll see you then. Okay, so here I don't have it yet to the bubbly point, and all the sugar, so you can see, is still there. It has started to dissolve, and you may get a little bit impatient, so you are going to have to be a bit patient with this project, but do not turn it up higher than medium. Maybe like 1 notch higher, but that's the most, because sugar, if you have experience like I do, will burn, and it'll burn pretty easily. So you want to make sure not to burn your sugar, and that's why I'm continuously stirring, so I know that sugar gets stuck on the bottom and the sugar is starting to dissolve. Okay, so once more we will be back when we have our sugar dissolved and it's starting to look a bit bubbly. Okay, so here I have my mixture, and my sugar is mostly dissolved. And it looks like it has, and as you can see, it's starting to bubble around the edges. And that's perfectly okay. And now it's starting to bubble in the center, and that's perfectly okay. That's what should be happening, but that's also why you should be stirring. Now, we're going to go to a little bit higher than medium. Actually, no. For what it's at right now, I'm going to keep it at my medium. And now what I'm going to do is add my 2 tablespoons butter. So I'm going to get this, plop it in there. Be really careful not to splash anything up on yourself, because trust me, it will burn. Okay, so we're going to stir this until it starts to bubble, even like it is now, but even a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to turn it off this heat. I'm going to move it to the to my next pot. We'll be back when all of that butter has dissolved. Okay, so going to continue stirring. I only have the littlest bit of that butter left. So just trying to get rid of that. Now what we're going to have to do is add 3/4 a cup of heavy cream. So I'll be back when we have our heavy cream at my side, and we'll show you what to do from there. Okay? Be back then. Now, before we add the heavy cream, we're going to want to get this to a caramel color. And I actually recommend doing this before you add your butter, but it does take a long time for the sugar to get to a color, really pretty much any kind of color. So, but because the sugar does burn, like really easily, as soon as it has its color, it's gonna just going to start to burn. So make sure that you don't walk away from this, and then we'll be back when we have that caramelish color. Bubble, bubble in my pot. Keep on bubbling till I tell you to stop. Bubble, bubble in my pot. Keep on bubbling till I tell you to stop. Okay, so now I have just removed it from the heat, and it looks golden and delicious. I have not added my whipping cream yet. That is the next thing that we are going to have to do. And it has gotten a lot thicker. Well, not necessarily a lot, but it has gotten thicker. But it's still quite thin. But at this point, we are going to add our 3/4 cup of whipping cream. And stand back when you do this. Okay, so we're just going to mix that up first. Add a little bit at a time. And then mix it. So you can see there it starts to get its very caramelized look. A little bit more. And the first time, like how I had it, it's going to start bubbling a lot. But that's why you always have to stand back and be careful and aware. But it all works out. And I'm just going to add a little bit more. Almost done. One last little bit. Okay. Mix that all together. It has started to get thicker. Which is a very good thing. And then what I like to do, this is optional, but I do recommend this, is after you have this all mixed up, is add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. That was only half a teaspoon, so I'm going to get a little bit more. There we go. Just going to add that. And mix that all together, and it also does give it quite an even bolder color. Turn that down to see if you can see that better. Yeah. Okay. Make sure that the reason why I'm using a spatula is so that I can get the sides and everything so that it all gets incorporated evenly. Okay. So I'm going to keep mixing this until it's fully incorporated. You'll know when it's fully incorporated and fully mixed in together when you don't have any more lumps or anything when you pick up your spoon. Like I have a lump right there. We're going to try and get all of that incorporated. So you have no more lumps like that. And you'll be good to go, and we'll be back then. Okay. So here we have my caramel, and this is just after all has been incorporated. Now I just have a spoon, and you can see it's quite thick. like very thick. Or thin, sorry, thin. Very thin. But as it starts to cool off, it'll thicken up a lot more. So I'm going to let it sit, and then we'll be back to close out the video and show you how thick it really has been after it's cooled after about 10 minutes. Okay, we'll be back when we have it all cooled off. See you then.